baby. So small. Hi, baby. Aww. Brave girls. You ready? 말을 잊지 못해, baby. 날 보며 완이었던 너의 미소에 홀린 듯 I'm fall in love, but 너무 쪽팔림에 한마디 말도 못해, baby. 알만하야. 너의 눈빛은 날 자꾸 네 곁을 맴돌게. Just only야. 거기 닫힌 내 맘이 어느새 무너져. Oh my gosh, we are here. 나도 미치겠어. Oh my gosh. Ah. I can't believe this. I can't. I can't. Ah. 기다리고 있잖아, baby. Just only you. 기다리고 있잖아, baby. Just only you. I just wanna be with you. 오늘 밤이 가기 전. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. I'm so excited for the next month of my life. Ah! So when we arrived at Myeongdong and we got to meet our host families, and when we got the host family information, it mainly talked about the grandma that we would be staying with, and she did mention that her daughter and her grandkids visit relatively often. But I didn't expect that they'd come to pick us up, and I literally was about to die of cuteness. After we greeted them, like 안녕하세요, with the whole bow and everything, probably like the next thing that they ever said or did was give me bits. At some point I mentioned that I am Chinese, and so they were like, oh my gosh, we should get some Chinese takeout but Korea. So we got like jjajangmyeon, and I'm already blanking on these food names. For those of you future NSLI-Yers who are curious about this, your host family does get your host letter. And yeah, I didn't really expect that at all. So let's just say that my letter was an essay that had dear and sincerely. And besides the host family letter, they also of course got our gender and our age, and that was all. So yeah guys, actually write your host family letter. Like, your host family is gonna look at them, because otherwise you're gonna end up looking stupid like me, and it's literally an essay. Interesting enough, they didn't get the photos, so it's not like they knew what we looked like beforehand. We were all standing in a crowd, and all of the host families were all standing in another crowd, and so there's a lady who would call out like the name of the host family, and then they would call out the names of the students, and then that's how you would be able to meet. So no one really knew what the other person looked like ahead of time. For any future NSLI-Yers out there who are worried about the language barrier, because before coming here I was definitely really worried. Your host families know that you're here to learn Korean, and they signed up to come and help you throughout that journey, and not only linguistically but also culturally. So seriously, don't be afraid to make mistakes, and they love it when you try. You didn't go to a foreign country to just be American. The point is you're supposed to try out and kind of get used to a different culture and learn to adapt to that, and you're not going to be able to do that if you're too scared to try. So seriously, just go out there and try it, and all the host families have been super supportive of that. I've heard this advice so many different times, but it's seriously true. Like, guys, there's so much more to communication in just having like the perfect grammar, the perfect vocabulary. There's a lot of things they can show through pictures or body actions, or even using simpler words that might not be able to fully express what you want, but through other things you can kind of tell what is going on. And that wraps up the end of in-country orientation. Tomorrow marks the beginning of the next 4 weeks of crazy packed schedules, but it's gonna be great. Good night, guys. Good morning, guys. First day of in-person classes. Woohoo! It is now 6:33. Got up to do some yesip for today's class because, you know, first day of classes, gotta make a good impression. Hey guys, we made it to school today! Woo! We did not get lost and we were actually early. These neighbor maps lied and said it would take 18 minutes. So then we were like rushing to get ready, but no, we're actually here like 10 minutes early.
Yeah, it's a good thing. They did it on purpose.
Yeah, fair.
Our campus.
원래 서점에서 책을 읽는 게 불법이거든요.
잘 가요. 안녕히 계세요.
Drink from the venti.
Yes. They gave us some 한양대학교 merch. These look so cute. Subway. And I got the best menu, whatever this pizza sub is, and a pineapple for me.
So this American restaurant in Korea experience has taught me that like you've heard of Americanizing, but like Koreanizing is like the upgrade, you know? Americanizing is the downgrade, Koreanizing is the upgrade.
Why does this make so much sense? Underground Shopping Center, let's go! Louis Vuitton just casually hanging out right there. What in the world? Please help these fools play music.
It just hurt my ear when I was walking by. I was like, what's happening?
1,000 different pit stops later, and on the way to the latte department store, we found the market. Mysterious alleyways. Let's go. With our suitcase. Everything, I think, is just fish. Lots of fish places. It smells so fishy. Ooh, hot dog. We made it kind of back. It only took a solid like 30 minutes. Oh, yeah. That sums it up. No, probably a solid 30 minutes of walking around, and then the time on the subway, and then trying to figure out which direction to go. Yeah, and we just totally did not end up in an underground post office trying to ask for directions.
Definitely didn't happen.
Yeah, of course not. The lady totally didn't like stare at me and was like, what the heck are you guys doing? And didn't help that Sierra was just wheeling around her suitcase. So she was probably like, what are these kids doing in a post office trying to find the subway station?
Yeah, the positive is we don't have to see these people ever again. So like,
unless we go back, because that place was seriously so cool.
Yeah, I'm really glad we got to go, and we got lost because like, I mean, the original market I wanted to go through was like 10 out of 10, and I spent way too much money there. But like, all the other places, like even the post office, like I feel like you wouldn't see something that looked that cool in America.
That's true.
I don't know. The post office was so fancy.
It really wasn't. We had no idea that was the post office, and I was looking at the sign and I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, it's so big.
Right now we're just trying to find our way home. Woo! Here we have Tiani cutting some Paju.
와.
Wow.
대박. Wow.
제가 한국어.
세상에 잘 알고 있어.